Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, David here. Welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk about Persona again, and we're going to start to do more Persona 6 videos in the near future because I feel like the game's coming at some point. Now, I don't believe all the rumors saying random stuff online necessarily about Persona 6 and it being delayed internally, with the source being like a nobody. So I'm kind of like not reporting on that, but I've seen the rumors. I just have a feeling Persona 6 is going to show up at some point, maybe this year, maybe next year. Not necessarily release, but we'll get information. It's going to be revealed. And today I want to talk about what Persona 6 needs to do, in my opinion, to be a better experience and to grab more people towards the Persona series than what Persona 5 did. And Persona 5 is a very successful game. It's also a game that I like quite a bit. So those points are my opinion on what Persona 6 needs to do to reach at least the same height that Persona 5 reached, which is really, really high. It's a very good game, and also top it if it can. So let's get right into it. If you're new to the channel and you want more content on anything in terms of ATLUS, SMT, Persona, and more, make sure to subscribe, ring that notification bell as well, and don't forget to like the video if you liked it. It is a big help. Let's get into it. And the first thing that I want to talk about is the social links and the calendar system. Now, the calendar system and social links were introduced with Persona 3, and I think they are a big reason as to why Persona is so popular nowadays. So I know there's been some discussion about ATLUS potentially dropping the calendar system and the social links. I honestly feel like it's not going to happen for the reason that I mentioned before. And what I think Persona 6 needs to do with social links is to dive deeper into them. Let me explain what I mean here. Is the social links in Persona 5 were great. There were a reasonable number of them, and most of them are interesting enough, in my opinion. But there's always one thing that I felt is lacking in terms of the social links, and I wish the social links had an impact on the story. Let me explain. Now, I'm not talking about side characters. So let me give Yoshida from Persona 5, the politician, for example. He has nothing to do with the main story, and that is okay. What I'm talking about is the social links for your main party members. So let's say you're dating Makoto in Persona 5. It kind of feels weird to see like nothing related to your social link in the main story cutscenes. You see Makoto next to Joker and they're talking like nothing ever happened, but you were like having fun there the other day, and there's no links, and I feel like it should be there. They should create different story scenes depending on the choices of the player. I feel like this is one way that they could make social links not only more worthy, but also more interesting, and it would add replay value as well, because depending on your choices in the social links from your main party members, it would change the reactions of your party members to certain story scenes. Sometimes it could be just little nods here and there, but it could also have a major impact on the story and the different endings that you get depending on the social link. So I feel like this is a great idea. I don't know what you guys think, but this is something that has been on my mind for a long time now. Social links and social elements in RPGs are getting common nowadays. They added those to games like to Tales of series. Tales of Arise has similar stuff at the campfires. And then you have even Xenoblade with the I don't remember how they're called, but there's certain scenes where the characters interact between one another. And this is not something that Persona created necessarily. I just feel like Persona needs to stand out in that regards, and that idea, in my opinion, would be a great way to make Persona stand out with its social links. Now, another thing that I would absolutely love, if you guys know me, I am a major fan of RGG Studio and the Yakuza / Like a Dragon series. And what this series does extremely well, better than any other series in the world, in my opinion, in terms of games, is the side content. There's an infinite amount of mini games, but what I want to talk about today is the sub-stories, the side stories / the side quests in Yakuza. Those side stories are extremely interesting. They're funny, they're sad, they're hilarious, they're funny. Let me say it again. They're funny, they're really, really good, and it makes me hooked. It hooks me with every single game. I am playing Ishin Like a Dragon right now, and it's an absolute blast with how great the side content is. In Persona, it's not memorable for the most part. There's the social links that are great, but the side quests / the missions or the mementos explorations for Persona 5, they're not memorable enough in my opinion. And what Yakuza does great is sometimes there's character development inside the side quest. For example, you're gonna have one side quest with one NPC and you think it's over once you complete it. But later on in your game, you find this character again, and now there's a new problem with this character, and that can happen 1, 2, or 3 times with 3 different sub-stories, and it's so fun and so great. I wish those games, Persona, would have more memorable side stories and try to give us an incentive to do them as well, because in previous games like Persona 4, there is side quests like this, but they don't really give you decent rewards and they're not memorable enough. I just want them to improve on their side content. Hey, take example from your side studio at SEGA being RGG, because they're absolutely amazing in that regards, and I like to do side content. I'm going to talk about the length of the Persona games in just a second, but this would be a great way to give players who want to spend more time in the Persona games the ability to do so. And now my final idea for this video, and we'll do more of those in the future for sure, and feel free to drop a comment and let me know what you think Persona 6 needs to do to be better than Persona 5 in certain regards. The final thing to me is a recent idea that I had, and it's different from my other ideas which are directly related to the gameplay of Persona 6. This other idea is, I'm just talking about the game itself and the length of the game. When Persona 5 Royal was re-released late last year, like in October or November, I tried to introduce a lot of people to Persona 5, and the main complaint that I could hear from people who have no idea what Persona is, oh my god, this is 120 hours long? And you expect me to play this? Nah, I'm good. And you know what? I cannot blame them. Life is hard. There's a lot of things that you have to do in life, and not everyone can sit down and play a 120 hours RPG, even though it looks extremely interesting. My friend was like, hey, I'm gonna spend like half my year just playing that game. I want to play different games. It has to be a little shorter, and that's someone who's used to RPGs. And I feel like ATLUS can do something extremely good with a shorter game. Look at Persona 1 or even Persona 2, the duology. Hey, Persona 4 too. Those games are like half of what Persona 5 is in terms of length, and they're as good, if not better, depending on who you're asking that. So I honestly feel like if they can find a way to make Persona 6 a very solid experience, just like Persona 5, but you make it a little shorter, it would make it more accessible to more people, and that's a way the game could surpass Persona 5 in terms of critical reception. It is blocking people from playing a game when the game is over 100 hours long. Hey, I'm not going to complain if the game is 100 hours long, but if they want to make Persona even more popular than what Persona 5 did, if they're able to make the length more decent in that regards, I think it would help with more people trying to get their hands at it. And again, look at your other Persona games. It is something that they can do, and I hope they will. Those are my ideas for today, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this quick little video about Persona 6. I want to do more content about P6 in the future. Thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to drop your ideas as well down in the comment sections below. Thank you all so much for watching. Again, you have a great day, y'all. Bye.